dark cloud of like numbers and views and money and ideas and scheduling and I've been watching a lot of Bo Burnham recently, and that's kind of put me in a weird introspective mood. There's a part in Bo Burnham's Make Happy special where he explores his relationship with performing on a stage and how it really makes him unhappy. And I think there's a line in there that is actually really interesting. He says that he's successful, he got lucky, and he's unhappy. And it kind of just put me in this weird introspective mood because, you know, part of YouTube is being able to create and share literally whatever you want, anytime you want, you know, with no direction. And there's this slight little glimmer of hope that someday on the horizon, maybe you will break out and become self-sustaining. But the inevitability of uploading to YouTube is a lot of other secondary feelings that you may not think about when you first start out. And part of that is the schedule. I've tried to do a video a week for as long as I can remember, and eventually it always starts to just peter out and I give up. And that has transferred to multiple different areas and hobbies in my life. But I feel very passionate about film photography and I feel very good about my work, and I want to share that with you and with the world. And that's what's cool about YouTube is I can do that there's no barrier to entry. But at the same time, then there is all of these pressures that I have to keep up if I want to succeed. And that's where this weird introspective mood has come into play. But I look at all the past hobbies and all the past projects that I've tried and do that I've given up on, and it's just like a cloud hanging over my head that if I don't constantly produce content, if I don't stick to a once a week upload schedule, then I have failed. And it's a really interesting commentary on how our goals and our drive, I think, can really work against us. I have big goals for the future, but those goals are the same things that are making me very stressed out and very anxious. It's very strange having the internal pressures you put on yourself that you think you have to do in order to reach the goals that you have far on the horizon. It's crazy how bad those internal goals can make you feel, even though it's what's driving you to success. With Bo Burnham's comedy and his special, it's really made me think like YouTubers and content creators, that type of thing, put in all of this work and all of this time and all of this editing and, you know, all this effort on top of whatever other full-time job they have. And even then, say they make it and get the success they always dreamed of, they're still the same unhappy person that they were at the beginning. Because I want more than anything to, you know, make plenty of money to be able to just make film photography videos all the time and travel the world and shoot film and, you know, adventure and explore and that type of thing. But in order to get there, I have to be consistent and I have to do the work, and that's fine. But sometimes I just don't feel like it. And I consider myself to be an artist instead of just a content creator, because that's what I want to do. Is I want to create art and I want to make photos that I care about and that are really good, and my end all be all goal is to have my own work in a gallery. But in order to get there, I probably need an audience, I need practice, I need all of these things that are just like constantly hanging over my head, and it's so strange. I wasn't even planning on making this video. I was actually going to make a review on my Canonette that I love so much and has really changed my photography. I really enjoy that camera. But I started to record that video and I was literally telling myself in the recording, I was like, just keep going, just keep pushing, because it just wasn't clicking. And then, you know, it just wasn't working out and I was about to just give up. And then I have all this stuff already set up, so I was like, I might as well do something. I was like, just turn the camera on and start ranting. Another anxiety that is there is, again, ties into what Bo Burnham says in his special in the very last song. He says, part of me loves you, part of me hates you, talking about his audience. And it's so interesting that I feel the exact same way, even though we are two very different people and very different audiences in terms of size and all that. But it's so interesting because I love the community and I love the interaction. I love the comments and I love, posting on Instagram and getting that rush when something finally like breaks out and does well. But then at the same time, I hate that my future goals that I want to achieve depend on something so fickle and random as just people viewing things on the internet. And that may just be how things are today. I mean, that's how you break out. That's how you be successful. A lot of people aren't going to art galleries anymore, and there's a huge barrier to entry, whereas with YouTube I can just make videos and walk around and take photos and make a difference. YouTube for me is like a stepping stone to get to where I want to go, and I've heard so many stories of YouTubers saying that exact same thing and then it turning into where they wanted to be in the first place. And I think it would be great to make videos full time, but at the same time it would be so stressful because there's this constant feeling of it could all just disappear. And I'm a very, very small channel that has not really seen any markable success. I've had a few shorts do really well, which is great. One of them is like at 16,000 views, which is crazy. And then a couple reels I've posted on Instagram do really well, and it's great. And that feels good for about 15 seconds. And then it's like, okay, now I have to do it again. Like there's this huge pressure, like, well, what am I going to do next time? It's almost like you're in the pursuit of that huge breakout video or short or reel or something. But then as soon as it happens, there's all this pressure and anxiety is like, well, what's the next one going to be? Like, come on, give us the next one. Keep it up. I mean, sometimes things hit and sometimes they don't, but that's the thing that's so stressful is like it can work or it cannot, and there's really no way of knowing. You can do all that you can and still sometimes it doesn't work. It's weird. It's very, very strange. It's strange that the goals that you set for yourself are also the things that are causing you the most stress. I think it's important to kind of keep in mind what this is for me right now, and that's just a hobby. And I'm just making videos for fun. And I think that's when I make my best work and my best photos and my best videos is when I'm just out there having fun. Like I went out to shoot yesterday. It was very hot. It was like 90 degrees outside. I was wearing jeans because I had just come from work, which was a mistake. But I was out there just having a blast. I was taking pictures. I was, asking people to take their photos and their portraits, and it was just fun. And the part of the photography that I love is the exploration and the creating and the way to express how I see the world that other people may not. And that's great. And I love sharing that. That's the most exciting and fun part. But then there's this overarching, dark cloud of like numbers and views and money and ideas and scheduling and interaction and Instagram, and now I need to do TikTok, and well, Instagram is apparently dead now, so maybe I should do Twitter, but then I post on Twitter, it gets like 1 like, and there's all this stuff, all this crap, all this like distraction. So what I think I need to do is just focus on the things that I enjoy doing and the videos that are fun to me. I think that's where I will find the most success, is when I'm happy with what I'm creating. This is kind of just like a rambling session of speaking just because the camera was already there. I was already recording audio, and I just had to say that. I guess this will be the video for the week. I hope you liked it. If you are experiencing the same thing, let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe. No. I'm just gonna keep doing videos for fun. It's just for fun. I'll get a video out when I can. I'll do my best. I have a full-time day job, and I do this in the afternoons and in the evenings in my spare time. So I'm just gonna keep making stuff for fun, and that's all I can do. So if you're along for the ride, that's great, and I appreciate it. So I'll catch you guys next week, hopefully in the next video, if I can figure it out. Take it easy.